the heat we've had all day. The pitch has just started to dry a fraction.
Come on, boys, we're getting lost ball here.
Then pushes through to finish. Well, the context is pretty good over. 7 off it, 56 for 2 from 9.
क्या कॉन्फिडेंस है?
मेरा नया लेयर शॉट सॉलिड है।
एंजॉय कर स्मूथ के 4 जबरदस्त फ्लेवर्स अब बॉटल में भी। Oh so smooth.
Oh so smooth.
Around the 5th or 6th ball of Ashwin's first over, you could see the ground staff was starting to get ready and moving around the covers. And now they've come on very, very quickly. It's just such a wonderful coordinated action. They're all around the ground. They're all waiting there. And as soon as Dharmasena signaled, they were up there and very, very quickly. The key areas, which is the actual playing surface and the run-ups, have been covered. It's not a very sharp shower. There's a word for it, isn't it? Mizzle. Mizzle, is that what you call it?
Yeah, a bit of mizzle between mist and drizzle. It's an English term, that one. We don't have much mizzle in Australia. But earlier in the day, it started like this and it came in very quickly. So they're just preparing. They're like a Formula One pit crew. The ground staff, they're a well-oiled machine. They know their job. We've got covers flowing everywhere and flying everywhere, and we worked out 6 minutes, I think, in the first half of the game it took to cover the whole ground. Can they break that record? Can we get down to 5 minutes?
Yeah, the first stoppage was 39 minutes, and so they took 15 minutes off, I think, the interval. You saved some time there, so you can make up 45 minutes. That's what my arithmetic tells me. They lost 39, so maybe a 6-7 minute stoppage. We might start losing overs. We'll check that with the third umpire for you quickly. But it's interesting, 56 for 2. Australia starting to put together a partnership. 47 at runner ball, but required run rate is 8.4. You've just seen a ball do a little bit off the deck.
Yeah, that's a worry for Australia if the ball does start to bite the surface, although the cover's on and a bit of rain around, that might sort of help the pitch hold together. We didn't see Australia get a lot out of the pitch with their spinners. Or Zampa bowled 10. Thought Matt Short should have bowled more than 2 overs given the way he bowled in Mahali. Bowled pretty well there, but I think they were worried about the right-handers depositing Short into the grandstand, but the quick bowler's got deposited enough, so it was probably worth him bowling a few more overs. But probably the shorter run chase, the better for Australia, even though it's going to be a high total they're going to be after, but I think a shorter chase would be more in favour of Australia.
It doesn't help they've lost a couple of wickets. If they hadn't lost wickets, that might have been a lot easier. So they're covering the entire ground now because it has picked up a little bit in intensity, but hopefully it'll just go by. We've already got 9 overs. We don't need too many more to get a game, so I'm almost certain we'll get a game. Question is how much. So in another minute or so, minute and a little bit, we start losing overs. We start losing overs at 19:26, and it's just ticked over to 19:25. So we'll start losing overs very shortly because at the moment they're engaged in putting the covers on. This is where India were 399 for 5. Shubman Gill, another 100. He's just manufacturing them at the moment. 104. Shreyas Iyer 105, and then we started to get those very quick, rapid contributions from KL Rahul, Ishan Kishan. Surya Kumar Yadav had everything going his way. There was set up for him, and even Jadeja, 13 of 9. India got 399 for 5. Peculiar that you can get to 400 and think, oops, could I have got another 15 or 20? You don't always say that when you've got a score as big as that.
Yeah, that was possible because there was a slow period when Shubman Gill and Shreyas Iyer were getting towards 100, but I think the heat was getting to him as well. Shreyas Iyer got cramp after he got his 100. So it was very hot out there. It's hard to keep going, but this is some of the stroke play we saw from Shreyas Iyer in his 105 off 90 balls. 11 fours, 3 sixes, and a well-timed 100 considering there's been a bit of talk about his spot in the squad.
That's 100 that will mean a lot to him. He's still young in his international career, but already this could mean a lot to him given the circumstances in which it was made. 200, and that was Shubman Gill's 8th century partnership this year in one-day international cricket. 2 of those have been double hundreds. And then India would be happy to see contributions all the way down. Sometimes 399 for 5 is actually better than 399 for 2 because it means everybody has contributed.
Yeah, exactly. I thought KL Rahul's 50 was crucial because at that time the scoring rate had just slowed down and the pitch was starting to slide, but he came in and kept the momentum going again. And this is a Shubman Gill, he's 100 off 97 balls. Just slowed up towards his 100, but another class innings from a class player.
Absolutely. I think he's been batting like a dream. The whole of this year, in all formats of the game, he's been absolutely outstanding. These are the highest totals for India against Australia. This one in Indore, the highest 399 in Bengaluru. 10 years back, they got 383. Then Jaipur again 10 years back, 362. That was a big scoring series then. Mohali in 2019, 358. And Nagpur 354.
Look at that, 362 for 1 in 2013. They were scoring runs for fun in that series. I mean, 350 was being chased down for fun in that series in 2013. That game in Bengaluru, India made 383. I think James Faulkner might have hit about 9 or 10 sixes at the end, but they were always going to fall short. Shubman Gill's reaction after another 100. As he's a young man, there's a bit of a showman about him, but he bats well. That's what matters.
Spanish bullfighter there. But yeah, he's done that plenty of times this season, hasn't he? Saluted the crowd and his teammates with milestones. Yeah, he's in pristine form going into the big tournament.
What he'd be happiest about is he's got a double 100 and a few hundreds in one-day internationals. He's got a test 100 and he's got a T20 international 100 all in this year. He just turned that semi-final of the IPL around against RCB, I think it was. He just turned that semi-final around all on his own. He literally owned the second phase of the IPL.
It's a great habit to have as a batter, the century habit.
I think if anything, it's not a mizzle anymore. It's a proper drizzle this now.
I think it's a shower. I'm going a bit stronger than a drizzle. Here's what the Australians have done so far. 2 for 56. Lost a couple of early wickets. This is the first one. Matt Short just flaying at one outside off stump. Bit unlucky there. Actually a really good catch by Ashwin down at third man, and then Steve Swift driving on the up. Shubman Gill didn't quite get it in the hands, but he held on to it, and then that was a very good delivery by Krishna. David Warner managed to keep it out, and then we saw Shami go past the bat a few times, and then the Australians started to take charge once that initial shine got off that new ball.
Yes, that's all you need, isn't it? Sometimes you want that one ball in the middle of the bat, finding the gap, and then suddenly the runs start to flow, and that's exactly what seems to have happened with both Labuschagne as well as Warner. The way Warner played that delivery from Prasidh Krishna, swinging in very sharply, that actually showed that he's looking good.
So that's where you're. Overall, Australia need 344 or 41 overs. If it does get down to, say, a 40-over game, Australia will need another 298 of the remaining 31 overs. If it's a 40-over game, we don't know if it will be, but just put you an idea, give you a perspective of how difficult it would get. They've lost 2 wickets. And there goes the ground army.
Look at that. The Blue Army, look at them. They've got every blade of grass covered on that outfield.
So it's been a pretty good cricket match so far, a feast of batsmanship, but at the moment it's all interrupted by the weather here in Indore. So we'll all have to wait. There's nothing we can do. Hopefully it'll go away. We'll get rid of these and then discover how many overs we've lost, because we started losing overs at 1926, 1927, I think. So we started losing overs. We've already started losing overs. So we've got a rain-shortened game, but hopefully we've got a game that's long enough to get a good cricket match when we are back.
मेहमान पहुंच चुके हैं। खातिरदारी ऐसी होगी कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया वर्ल्ड कप के बाद घर नहीं जाएगा, इंडिया में ही रहेगा। T20 इंटरनेशनल्स की खातिरदारी के लिए जो आपको दिखेगा इंडिया क्रिकेट के नए घर में, इंडिया वर्सेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया T20 इंटरनेशनल्स 23 नवंबर से लाइव जियो सिनेमा और स्पोर्ट्स 18 पर।
20 दिन, 20 प्रीमियर्स,
माशाल्लाह।
ये है इंडिया की आवाज। जियो सिनेमा फिल्म फेस्टिवल, 29 September on Geo Cinema.
World records will be recalled. Pacer with the best bowling figures by an Indian in an ODI World Cup match. Teamwork will make all the difference when the best quizzing talent from India's schools will be put to the test. Coming soon only on Sports 18 and Geo Cinema.
Welcome back to Match Centre Live. There's something about the 10th over and these rain breaks. We saw this in the first innings as well after 9.5 odd overs bowled, 79 for 1 where India were. Australia find themselves on 56 for 2, and I can assure you that the ground staff involved with the Madhya Pradesh Cricket Association, as it's called, MPCA, have been kept quite busy today. It's absolutely pelting down at the moment, and rumours are that it's a passing shower, and hopefully we'll have the game coming back on very, very shortly, but that's just the best case scenario at the moment. But 56 for 2, where Australia are at the moment, chasing 400. India looking to defend 399 to ensure that they don't just seal the series, they also seal that #1 spot going into the ICC ODI World Cup that they'll be hosting very shortly. Quick welcome to Abhishek Nair. And just before that, just have a look at the match summary as well. 399 for 5, buoyed by centuries from Shreyas Iyer and Shubman Gill. Surya Kumar Yadav 72, but forget the 72, look at the number of balls he took to get there. 37, a phenomenal effort from Surya Kumar Yadav, elevating them from where they were, 311 odd after 43 overs to 399, and then KL Rahul helping himself to his fastest ever ODI half century. And Cameron Green would want to forget this day, even though he picked up 2 wickets, went for 103 of 10 overs. And then Australia in response with David Warner still batting, Manas Labuschagne still there on 17 not out, but it was really the twin blows of Matthew Short and Stephen Smith who got a first bowler today from Prasidh Krishna that has meant that it's definitely India's to lose from here, but things could be different. It's a game of cricket, as I welcome Mark Moore and Abhishek Nair alongside me. Obviously very disappointing, Abhishek, what we're seeing behind us. Still drizzling, still coming down quite heavily. What do you make of the situation of the game so far?
Well, game seems to be moving towards India, but it's unfortunate because Australia was just getting some momentum with David Warner and Labuschagne. Just felt like they were hitting those boundaries. They were putting some pressure back. Defensive fields from India, Ashwin coming into the attack. So it was an interesting phase. Unfortunately, the rains interrupted. We saw a couple of balls turned by Ashwin. So, just seeing where the game was. You look at this game and you assess it and you say, yes, Australia have lost 2 wickets, but the conditions, the ground size, the game can change anytime. If 2 batsmen get in, you expect the batters who are in